When working with concrete, there are two tools that stand out as real heroes, namely the angle grinder and an SDS drill that is equipped with a scaler function. This slab has some serious and some nasty cracks in it. The rain is running through the cracks and eroding the soil underneath. How bad? We can't tell. Now don't be tempted to simply fill the cracks. You do need an area that has some width and depth to it so that the repair mix can bind and set properly. Too thin, and you run the risk of the repair not holding. I snapped the chalk line on either side of the cracks and got to work cutting along those lines as I want a neat finish. When using an angle grinder to cut through concrete, make sure that the grinder is armed with a concrete and brick cutting disc. Don't try to slice through everything at once. Run your grinder to score a line, and then slowly work over the cut line a few times until you have cut through. Where possible, allow the cutting disc to pull its way through the surface that you're cutting. This minimizes the friction and the force required to cut. Pressure and heat are the biggest enemy of cutting and abrasive discs. Unfortunately, when cutting through concrete, there is going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of dust. So pay attention to windows that may be open as well as the wind direction. I've asked Kev to help clear this dust with a blower so my vision is not clouded while I'm cutting. And this was a huge help. It also helped to clear the dust from our workspace. Now that my cuts are done, it's time to haul out the DeWalt DCH133NT SDS drill. This tool is built for cement work and it does it well. An SDS drill with a scaler function allows you to stop the rotation of the bit and use it as a scaler, commonly known as a chisel bit. Now I have a portable small type jackhammer and I can work on breaking up this concrete into smaller pieces. Full speed and full pressure is often not needed, but what is needed is a firm foothold and good control of the power tool. Don't try and use the drill single-handedly. I then removed all the rubble and blew the entire area clean with the cordless blower. I've asked Kev to give me a dusting as well. So now that our area is prepped, I can now move on to mixing my cement mix. I started by slightly wetting the area and stamping the soil down to get a firm, uniform finish, which also prevents the cement running away underground. To fill the areas we have cut and prepped, I'm mixing up a slurry of black cement and both water and key coats at a 50-50 ratio. Black cement has an MPa rating of 42.5 N, and once cured, it is stronger than your 32.5 N cement. Substituting some of the water for key coats adds additional water resistance and adhesion strength. I'm mixing it in a bucket with a paint stirrer and adding a small amount of river sand, aiming for a lump-free yogurt-like consistency. I then simply poured the slurry into the channels and worked it in as well as I could with a trowel, taking care not to dig up the foundation that I had stamped earlier. This mix is slightly more fluid than a traditional cement mix. I want it to seep in everywhere to give it the best joining strength possible. Do your application once throughout the entire area rather than half today and half next week. We want everything to fuse together. This scrap piece of timber works perfectly as a straight edge. Before the cement dried, I cleaned up around the newly cemented areas. Repair done. If your concrete is cracked and there are obvious signs of water getting in, treat it now. Don't ignore it because the damage might be out of sight. Builders stocks all the products and power tools that I've used today, both in store or online at builders.co.za. For more videos like this, check out the blog on the website. It's due day, breathing new life into concrete, and it's due day to do those jobs that you've been putting off. Get to Builders, get it done.